This is gonna have to be another quick one because is it okay if I just skip over everything and get straight to the exposing of the Diaz brothers? Is that okay? Because it feels like a really heavy... I suppose I should feel bad if someone gets cracked in the head like that and gets knocked unconscious, or, you know, there's towels being thrown. I don't even know where that came from. Rumors are that Nick threw it. But anyway, see, I had to suffer, and I had to bear, and I had to humble myself without the H and listen to people talk about how great Nick Diaz is, and how they're just gonna come snatch everybody's belts and they're just gonna be running these divisions, and I was always accused of just plain old Diaz hating, not looking at the way these people fight and say they're flat-footed, they're one-dimensional, maybe two, but they're one-dimensional. Even though they are good on the ground, you wouldn't know it. They talk so much smack, just want to stand up and box. And they're not even the greatest boxers in the world. It's really ridiculous. Pappity pat pat. This is the cream of the crop here. This is the top of the heap. This is they're not champions because they stand in front of people and let them punch them in the mouth. Pappity pat pat. They're champions because they use their strong suits. They're champions because they find a way to win. Chris Thompson is a champion. If you haven't seen some of his wars with Melendez, some of his fights with Strikeforce, and his reign as champion in Strikeforce, go back and watch it. I went back and watched it. That's a champion. That last fight that he went in with Melendez was a war. That dude's a champion, and he's not going to stand in front of you and let you punch him in the mouth. And guess what? If you let him kick you in the head once, and you let him kick you in the head twice, he's going to kick you. Just saying. I have never been so excited to see someone covered in blood. Both of the Diaz brothers are exposed now. I don't want to hear any more. I don't want to hear any more. And these Diaz fans, they blow my mind. They never get enough. They never get enough. They never get enough. Called out Anderson Silva. And there are people actually backing this idea up. What must it take? What must it take to stop it? I had an epiphany. It'll never stop. It'll never stop. Diaz fans are just like Diaz. Hard-headed. And even though they're getting punched in the face, they still walk forward. Sure. So even though Diaz left you hanging, didn't show up to the press conference, didn't show up here to sign nothing, no way. And even though he dropped the ball against Condit, shouldn't have even gotten a title shot, got it, you supported him, and he gave that performance. Then he gets up on the stage, says, I retired. 5 minutes later, he says, I want a rematch. 5 minutes later, he says, I want to fight with Silva. Who are you people that are these fans? Who are you? Never mind all of the crass and street energy that those guys bring. Never mind that. I can deal with that. But it's one thing to do all of that and to talk all of that and then lose. Anderson Silva, UFC 112. I will never forget it. What he did to Damian Maia, I became a little bit of a Silva hater for a while. I thought that was the most disrespectful thing. And the showboating and the dancing and all that, it's different. You know why? Because Anderson Silva wins. He's allowed to be cocky. He's allowed to do that. In MMA, it's about what have you done for me lately? So they haven't done much. Just saying. So can we please, I beg of you, please, stop talking about him. Stop talking about him. Stop talking. My mind was shattered, blown to pieces when they referred to the Diaz GSP fight as a super fight. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. I don't know. I haven't looked up the official definition of a super fight and what it exactly means. In my mind, Silva GSP, that's a super fight. Silva Jones, that's a super fight. You know why? Because these people are champions. They consistently win on a consistent basis. That's a little redundant, but it needs to be. They consistently win on a consistent basis. Whether you like GSP or not, and the way he wins, and I'm a little upset about that because Bendo is just as guilty with these UDs, but everybody wants to rail on GSP, so that's the popular thing to do, so that's what people do. See, Bendo, I'm getting off topic. Chris Thompson destroyed this kid, and this talk about going to 170, nobody cares. Those guys at 170, they're bigger than you, and they will crush you. That flat-footed talking and getting kicked in the head, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. It's just not going to work. And I find it very interesting. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but back to the issue of Bendo not finishing and GSP not finishing. I find it very interesting that Chris Thompson did the job of finishing Nate Diaz, which is more than possible, and Bendo could get his champion. Amazing. I don't like Bendo. I respect him. I give him his respect. I thought Melendez was gonna win that, but I respect him. He's champion. He's #1 lightweight. Yada yada yada. But I don't like the way he ekes out decisions. And why are the majority of his decisions so controversial? Why can't he ever just win? GSP, even though it goes to decisions, guess what? There's no confusion about who won though. There's no confusion about who controlled the fight, and he keeps getting these decisions. And I mean, and people complaining saying that Melendez actually won. Melendez lost that fight. He lost the fight. His leg looked like hamburger meat. I don't know what happened there. My heart was broken. I really thought, I'm not a betting man, and I don't have the money to bet. But if I was and I did, I would have put it on Melendez, and I would have been a little poorer today. But I didn't. But yeah, there was no controversy about that fight. The controversy was the Frankie fight. But that's in the past. Still a little hurt about that, but let it go. Melendez won the first round. That was about it. Case closed. I mean, it was his moment, and he wants to propose and all that. So now you're on your knees, or knee, proposing to your girlfriend, and the crowd is booing you because they don't like the way you win fights, and they don't like the way you eke out decisions, and some of them even think that Melendez won. It's not the time or place for that. But I get it. But at least I don't know. I find stuff like that very annoying. That's just like when Bones was tweeting all day about how he had some really big news. Was it a super fight? What's going on? Talk about, I don't know if he had a baby or if he proposed. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care. I promise you I don't care. That is awesome. That is awesome. But I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I mean, but man, if you missed this card, you missed. I mean, we weren't even past the prelims yet. There were already about 5 or 6 finishes, KOs. Romero, Andrew Kawani, Chad Mendez, just ridiculous. Ridiculous amount of finishes. It was an awesome card, and it was a free card. Free always tastes better. Just an amazing card. There was also something mentioned about one of the judges having a connection with Melendez, and that's why Melendez got one of the judges to vote for him. I don't understand why this is a controversy, because Melendez still lost. So, and Bendo didn't do enough to get a unanimous decision. So I think I don't see where the controversy is. Is that the best way to choose judges for a fight? No. But as far as this particular fight is concerned, I don't see the controversy. Maybe that judge, maybe he needs to be reevaluated and whether or not he needs to be judging in the future. Frank Mir, Daniel Cormier, DC. What is the issue with fans booing while there's grappling going on? Who are these casual fans that have money for UFC fights? If I'm a casual watcher of any, just like these days, I'm so much into MMA, I don't have time for basketball. The only time I watch basketball is when the playoffs start. If I had extra money, I'm not going to spend money and go to the playoffs. I'm going to spend money and go to UFC 159, UFC 160, actually 162. But, I mean, these two just got into the clinch, and there's booing. DC, he's a crowd pleaser, so, he backs off. I'm like, you backed off because people were booing? GSP doesn't... Listen, these fans... You're fighting for position. And Frank Mir looked good. I'm sorry. Normally, as far as stand-up goes, Frank Mir folds somewhere. First round, second round. Even at the weigh-in, he looked cut for Frank Mir. He was actually throwing some kicks, and he went all the way to the third round with his kicks. He didn't look disgusting in the third round. He actually still had it together. Still lost, but other than the stand-up, I have no idea what he was doing. He had plenty of opportunities to drag that fight to the ground and break something, but didn't. So I don't know why Frank Mir it feels like he has something to prove. Let's just stick to the ground stuff and the breaking of things, and let's do that. I don't know. But anyway, DC, he's starting to annoy me because first he said he was going down to 205. Now he doesn't know what he wants to do. Then I think I read something about a medical suspension, so I'm annoyed with that. Don't get kicked in the head, homie. Brown versus Maine. I really was not expecting that, and I think this was the one pick that I got wrong. I got 2 picks wrong. I got the Brown-Maine fight wrong, and I got Benson-Melendez wrong. Everything else I got right. But yeah, I wasn't expecting. Matt Brown looked pissed. I think that's 5 fights in a row. He's after the, he's doing his thing. He's after the belt. But I still like Jordan Maine. Those were a lot of good exchanges, but Matt Brown just came out on top. So Chad Mendes, Darren Elkins. We're going to see that same fight again with Chad Mendes and Aldo. But that was another finish. That was another knockout. Carmont, Larkin. Maybe Carmont has some sort of connections too with judges. Maybe we need to, I don't know, get like a, it needs to be an investigation or something. Because Carmont did not win that fight. Larkin was doing magical spins and all kinds of stuff I've never seen before. He out of how many attempts was only able to take him down once. This guy had his leg up in the air doing a full split and he could not take him down. And Larkin was lighting him up the whole time. Carmont gets one takedown and that's rough. That was a really, really bad beat. Miles Drury looked good. I think that's the one. I haven't had a chance to rewatch it, but I think that's the one where homeboy, you know, staring up at the stars, and he was out before he even hit the ground. I don't know what he was doing. Dude was out. He wasn't at that fight. I know that. He was not at that fight. He was somewhere else. Hilarious. Benavidez just dominating. Tim Means, Masvidal. This was another one. Very, very suspect. Very suspect. Masvidal was getting the takedowns, but Means was doing a crap load of damage from the bottom. And if the fight was standing, he was doing damage standing. And if Means got a reversal or whatever, and if he was on top, he was doing damage from there. This is my thing about takedowns in the UFC. I think they get so much credit. More credit than what it should. And people, certain people know that. Smart people, they know that. Oh, okay, there's a minute left in the round. Got that takedown. I don't care what you did. That's my round. And I understand that grappling is for position. If you take somebody to the ground, you controlled them and you took the fight to where you wanted it to be. However, if you take them there and you don't do any damage, and damage gets done to you from the bottom, isn't that worth even more than if the person on the bottom is doing more damage to the person on the top than the reverse? Doesn't that mean something? Isn't that significant? I think Means got robbed. Njokuani, Roger Bolin, that was a good fight. Njokuani has a very spotted record. It seems like he has like all the tools and all the, you know, everything in the world, but hopefully he can get that together. Clifford Starks, Yoel Romero, flying knee. If you missed the prelims, shame on you. That flying knee was insane. In other news, Dana White stepped up and said that he's going to donate some funds to some of the victims of the Boston bombings. And I've been the things I've been hearing in the MMA circles is all this negative feedback. You're just trying to, blah blah blah. You're trying to get attention. The dude's from Boston, and I have a very healthy love-hate relationship with Dana White. Love everything he's done for the sport. Love the straightforward attitude. At least with Dana, you know what you're gonna get. But for the most part, he appears to be that guy. And I have my reasons why I don't appreciate him sometimes. But everything that the man does, you can't just berate and just down everything he does. Just the fact that he's even acknowledging it and making a gesture to help those that are suffering that suffered from that attack. Just take it easy. We can hate Dana White tomorrow. Today, just take it easy. I want to encourage you guys to share the channel. I got a couple of friends that's going to be helping me out with the contributions to the channel. People that are much more knowledgeable than I am. Spread the word, spread the videos. I want to start doing things like giving out tickets to events and giving out memorabilia and stuff like that. I'm not going to do it with 10 subscribers. Alright? I probably would do it with 10 subscribers. But I'd enter myself in the contest and yeah. And I'm getting into a little bit of a groove. Humble myself. Who's sure? But they're one-dimensional. I had an epiphany. Pappity pat pat of the Diaz brothers.